Well, I haven't made a video in a while. There just hasn't been too much to talk about. We went and saw movies, and I guess there's been some shows and stuff, but just really nothing. I don't know. We saw Superman, we saw Thunderbolts, we saw the Fantastic Four. We've been watching Landman. Landman is actually really good. I've enjoyed that quite a bit. I think we only got a couple episodes to go through that, so... I don't know if any of those, other than maybe Landman, because like I said, it's so good, is really worth talking about. Like, I talked to my sister on the phone about Superman, and we both kind of came to the same conclusion. Now, I don't think she's as into those kinds of movies as much as I am, maybe, but we both kind of felt the same way about it, that it's just a really bad movie. The other ones we saw in the theater aren't as bad as that. I think that is definitely, that was one we wanted to walk out of. It was so bad. But because I haven't uploaded a video, and that's a quick summary of basically why, at the beginning of the year I decided that I was going to make videos of reviewing movies or shows or whatever once a month, so that at the end of the year I could kind of review. Because I always forget what we saw. And I thought it would be kind of fun to do. But I haven't held very good to that plan. So I feel like I should do something. August is over. This is the end. I gotta do something for August. And there's really nothing to talk about. Landman I'll do in September, because I think that it deserves its own kind of little conversation. But something that did come across my radar, and this is an interesting thing. It's so I really wanted to play. I think there's something about this time of the year, okay? Like, it's the end of summer. You could start to kind of feel it. We've had a lot of rain. It gets a little chilly at night now. We did some camping. It's a big full moon. And you could tell that summer's about done. And it's going to start cooling off. And it's a special time of the year because autumn's coming, which means Halloween, right? And it always, in me, for some reason, it's almost like this is the time of year you start thinking about Castlevania. I don't know why, it just does. So I really wanted to play Symphony of the Night, which is really hard to do. It's hard to play that game right now unless I can find a way. I mean, I have it on the PlayStation. I'd have to find it, and then I'd have to find a PlayStation that works, and then, you know, go through all this stuff to get it to work. Or I could buy a PlayStation 4 or 5 and get that collection that also has Rondo of Blood on it. But that's a lot of money just to play one little game, right? There's emulators you can buy, and I'm really thinking about buying a good one that has, you know, PlayStation 2 on it, so you can revisit some of those old games and stuff. I've got an old emulator, but it doesn't play a lot on it. It's not very good. So with whatever, all the things I have now are not working to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So I thought, well, can't we just emulate on my computer? I think I did that in the 90s. Why couldn't I do that now? You're sideways. Why can't I do that now? It's not even, I think it was a Gateway PC that I played Symphony of the Night on, when it was basically out. So why couldn't I do it now? Well, that was its own thing. I don't know how to get emulators to work anymore. I don't know if I ever really did. But I downloaded a couple of different emulators. I couldn't get any of them to work right. I couldn't get the ROMs to load right. I couldn't get them to identify the ROMs. I couldn't get all kinds of stuff. But I tried it enough times, and I tried different things, that eventually I got a couple of them to work. One of them, it will not play the music for whatever reason. I don't know. But it plays better than the other. The other plays the music, but it's all laggy and weird. So I was just trying to find a way to play this game. But while I'm doing it, I'm going through that initial Richter scene with Dracula quite a bit. And we all know it by heart. I know it by heart, right? Like everybody knows that scene by heart. And so I kind of just sat through that. I would try to push past it. A lot of time I just let it go and let it play. And I started thinking about it. I guess I've always thought, and I mean, maybe I'm wrong, okay? I don't know. Maybe I'm just, it never really got to me, or I never understood it. But it seemed like it was just sort of setting up the story. It's just flavor text. This isn't like supposed to have a lot of meaning. It's just setting the game up very quickly, giving you some quick good guy, bad guy setup. Preview of the old game very, 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 very quickly. Like this is Rondo of Blood's finale summarized. That's it. Maybe I need to play Rondo of Blood to the end. I don't know. I never have. So anyway, what occurred to me, or what I started thinking about, I started really, I guess, paying attention to the motivations and actions of Dracula versus Richter during this scene. Richter comes in all hot, he's running through, comes straight up to Dracula, who's sitting down, taking a break. He comes straight up, busts through the door, and he screams at him, "Die, monster, you don't belong in this world." And Dracula, I mean, he's freaking Dracula, right? He's like, "It was not by my hand that I am once again given flesh. It was something by humans who wish to pay me tribute." Like, he's like just telling Richter, like, what? I don't get it. What's your problem, dude? And then Richter is like, "Tribute? You steal men's souls and make them your slaves." And Dracula, this is the part that I always thought was funny, but if you think about it in this context, he's kind of like, hold on there, son. The same could be said for all religions. And Richter very quickly retorts, I'm already forgetting what he says. He says, "You steal men's souls and make them your slaves. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you." He says something before that, but I can't remember. And then Dracula, that's when he throws down he's drinking, I'm guessing, blood. And he throws that down. He's like, "What good is a man? Nothing but a pile of secrets. Have at you," right? Like, and then the fight starts. So quick, bang, 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 just back and forth, real quick. But think about it. Or I thought about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, or maybe this is very clear and I'm just stupid, which could be the case. Richter comes in there, blazing, guns blazing. Dracula's on break, okay? He's chilling. He's not even intimidated by this guy. And Richter, confronts him straight up, and he doesn't really even care until he's like, "Mankind ill needs a savior such as you." That sets Dracula off. Mankind doesn't need him as a savior. And that's where Dracula goes, "What is a man? Nothing but a pile of secrets." And I'm wondering, is he talking about Richter there, or humanity? Is he saying that you are just nothing but a pile of secrets, and so I don't have to take this from you? Or he's saying all of mankind are secretive and unworthy of a savior? Something like that, right? And Dracula considers himself some sort of spiritual savior to humanity through death. or through enslavement. And he sees that, again, as a function of religion. But why it sets him off, I think, is because he is confronted by someone who doesn't believe that he is a miserable pile of secrets. He thinks he is something more than that. And that he could challenge a God who sees him for what he is. I think. If it's humanity that he's speaking of, and maybe Dracula's had enough of humanity, and that's why he gets set off. I don't know. There's something to this, right? And I know that in the story, basically Alucard has that dream when he goes into the dream and dreams of his mother. And at the end of the game, when Alucard confronts Dracula with his mother, and Dracula asks forgiveness of Lisa, that there is goodness in humanity. Was the pile of secrets in humanity that they didn't value Lisa? Or they killed her, I assume, for consorting with Dracula? What is he revealing when he says that, right? Like, there's something to that. Now, it might have to do with Lisa, but I think it has to do with Richter too, just because of the way when Richter says that sets him off, right? And think about it like this too. Dracula sees himself as a spiritual savior. He sees himself as something in humanity needs to understand its place. And other than that, he's a vampire, so humans are food, right? We're food. If I was a butcher, if I was a hunter, whatever, and this young cow came busting into my living room, screaming at me about what a bad savior I am for cows, I wouldn't be insulted by that. I'd be like, well, veal tastes pretty good. Let's just get this guy over with, right? Like, just done, whatever. But Dracula isn't like that with Richter. He gets offended, insulted. He's somehow ruffled or razzled by that statement. So, I mean, Dracula could have just kept sitting there drinking wine until Richter, took the first move. But Dracula took the first move. And only when Richter challenged his role as a savior to humanity. Very strange. I don't know what to think about it. There is probably, I think it has more to do with Lisa and what happened to her, but only because at the end of the game, when he asked for forgiveness of Lisa, also because I don't remember where I saw this. I think some years ago I watched a video on YouTube about it, but somebody mentioned that in the chapel there's the confessionary, and you go sit, and there's like an evil woman and an evil priest, and then there's a good priest and a good woman. They're ghosts, but the good woman and the good priest, is that Lisa's ghost, the good woman? And why would Dracula have a chapel in his castle if not for Lisa? Right? So maybe he sees himself as the savior that she needed for humanity, because the savior who she worshipped failed her. Something like that. And maybe that humanity is unworthy of the savior that Lisa worshipped. I'm kind of thinking about this as I say it, because it's a weird one. I am probably overthinking it, or it's very obvious and I'm just not getting it. But I do think it's interesting that one moment, it really stuck to me. It's like, Dracula doesn't even care about Richter until he challenges. He says, mankind ill needs a savior such as you. What is a man? Right? That's it. Right? That set him off. That was it. So, anyway. Yeah. I guess that's good for an August update. Who really cares about this stuff anyway? So, bye.